Hello and welcome to my comparison of DRF Formulator and TimeformUS. They are both under the same umbrella under DRF, but they are different path performances. Let's take a look at each one. At first glance, these are the DRF path performances that we remember, but there are some differences that we can see off the bat with the blue links. For example, if I click on Curlin right here, I can see his progeny stats, and I can see Curlin's path performances at the bottom, and you can also see Curlin's top 20 progeny path performances, which is kind of neat, and you can see his family tree, and again, you can click on most of those names and see the past performances. And also on DRF Formulator, we can click on the chart where you see last started on November 25 at Aqueduct, and we can click on any name in that chart, say defining purpose. Let's see what her past performances look like, and the PPs pop up. So that's kind of neat as well. Let's go back to Raging Sea. And the most powerful tool of all in DRF Formulator are the trainer statistics. You can customize them. The Double Dog Dare Stakes, this is a Double Dog Dare Stakes on Friday at Keeneland, and this is for 4-year-old fillies and upwards. It's a dirt race. So let's keep that in mind. Let's click on Chad Brown, and let's plug in a few factors here. 4-year-old fillies on dirt, coming off a layoff, as I said. So first start after a layoff in a graded stakes race. How does Chad Brown fare with 4-year-old fillies on dirt making their first start off a layoff in a graded stakes race? Let's apply those filters, and you can see here he's won 5 times out of 14 starts with all those factors applied, and he has a 36% win percentage, a $1.71 ROI, which is because he's Chad Brown and most people want to bet him, so it might seem kind of low. $4.79 average payoff. You can tinker around and come up with different trainer stats on your own. That is a really powerful tool for handicappers. DRF also has the bar speed figures, which is still the standard for most handicappers when they talk about speed figures. Now, what makes TimeformUS different? Well, first of all, you can see it's more colorful. I like the color coding. I like the brown colors around the dirt races. And you can see here with number 2, the blue colors around the synthetic races. That's pretty helpful. And their speed figures are different. Well, the speed figures are still based on time, but they could be different than buyers depending on whether or not they agree on the race. Most of the time they do agree on the race, but sometimes they don't. But if they do agree on the race, the speed figure for TimeformUS should be 20 points, about 20 points higher than the buyer speed figure. So theoretically, if a horse earns an 80 buyer speed figure, that would be a 100 or 105 on TimeformUS. That's what I've been told. In any case, what else do I like about TimeformUS? The race replays, if you click right here, Raging Sea last started in November in the Comley Stakes at Aqueduct, and the race replays just pop up if you click that play button on the far right. We're not going to watch the video. This is not a handicapping video. I just wanted to demonstrate it. And also, we can click here on Aqueduct November 25. The chart comes up, and you can see each horse in the Comley Stakes and what their speed figures were on TimeformUS before that race and after that race as well. So Honor D Lady, she just started last weekend in the Apple Blossom, and you can see here she was 9th with a 104 on TimeformUS in the Apple Blossom. Now, the TimeformUS that I'm used to lets you click on the speed figure for that race, and it should take you to the Apple Blossom chart. I think it's a little different on the race of the day version of TimeformUS, but now let's go back to the past performances. And what also is helpful about the speed figures is that whenever there's a controversial speed figure, they put a label on it. Like here, they put a 108P. Now, what does the P mean? Well, you can see here, there was an extreme pace in that race that might have affected the final time. And we can go to the TimeformUS blog right here on this tab. It says here, pace. There will be some races run with the pace so fast or slow that it will cause the horses to run unreasonably slow final times. So that's what the P means. Whenever there's a P next to the speed figure in TimeformUS, there's a little label to indicate what the problem could be, and the handicapper could look at it for himself and decide what they want to do with the number. That is incredibly helpful. TimeformUS also adjusts the final figure for normal pace situations. We can see here Love was in the Molly picture last summer at Monmouth, and she set the pace before fading to 4th, and technically she earned a 111, as you can see underneath the 4th place finish at the end, but she was bumped up to a 113 because she set the pace and did all the work on the front end. Now, speaking of pace, I forgot to go over the fact that TimeformUS has pace figures in their running lines, and that's kind of neat. We can see here the 115, 115, 118, but as I said, the Molly picture was not an extreme pace situation because it doesn't have the blue or red coloring, but Queen of Missola was in an extreme pace situation last time at Turfway Park. You can see the red coloring right here, 144, 139, 127. 144 is a very fast pace, and let's see if we can find another blue or red coloring for the Double Dog Dare Stakes. Scylla was in a slow pace situation last time. You can see the blue coloring right here, and Scylla had pace figures of 92, 93, 109, 113 in an allowance race at Gulfstream Park. So as a stalker, she had to overcome slow pace, and she almost overcame it. She only lost by a neck at the end. Besides that, I just like how TimeformUS looks. Just the overall look, aesthetics of it is more pleasing to my eye than DRF Formulator. Otherwise, I would consider both past performances helpful. I'm not saying that DRF is worse necessarily for all people. It just depends on what helps you more. In an ideal situation, you would have both. For DRF Race of the Day, they offer both past performances. I think that's kind of neat. DRF Formulator is much more powerful than the DRF that most of us grew up with. Most of us just grew up with the paper DRF, and we couldn't look at the charts immediately or the race replays or the sire progeny stats. I mean, it's amazing that we can just click on that now, click on Curlin and see his stats for his progeny. Both past performances are modern and very helpful to handicappers, but I prefer TimeformUS by a slight margin, but I'm not saying DRF is bad either. I'm not saying that DRF will not be more helpful to some people. In any case, that's my comparison of DRF Formulator and TimeformUS. Thanks for watching my video.